Dogs are mentioned 41 times in the Bible, 32 times in the Hebrew Bible, and 9 in the New Testament. And in general, dogs are portrayed in a negative light. In the Book of Kings, dogs are unclean scavengers, the perfect animal for disposing of the corpses of the wicked. 1 Kings says, anyone belonging to the rebellious King Jeroboam who dies in the city, the dogs shall eat. And 2 Kings prophesied that the dogs shall eat the flesh of the evil Queen Jezebel. When David confronts the Philistine champion Goliath armed only with a staff, a sling, and a few rocks, Goliath is insulted and mocks David for treating him like a dog. Am I a dog that you come to me with sticks? The Book of Psalms likens dogs to an aggressive company of evildoers. And in the Book of Proverbs, a dog's behavior is used as a metaphor for foolishness. As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. Elsewhere, they're used to represent dirtiness, danger, or greed. And things aren't much better in the New Testament. For example, dogs are linked with evildoers and false prophets in the Book of Revelation.
What does the Bible have to say about dogs? Well, growing up, this was the verse that I often fixated on. It comes from the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. So Lazarus is this poor man in this parable Jesus tells. He's living outside the city gates. He's very weak. And then we read, even the dogs came and licked his sores. And when I was a kid, I thought, well, that's really nice and friendly. They're licking your wounds, taking care of you, comforting you. But that's not what the text means. As commentator Joel Green observes, although we may be tempted to think of the dogs of Jesus' story in sentimental terms, we should rather imagine pariah-like mongrels that roamed the outskirts of town in search of refuse. These curs have not come to lick his wounds, as we would say, but to abuse him further, and in the story to add one more reason for us to regard him as less than human, unclean, through and through, an outcast. In other words, the role that dogs play in this story is not comfort or companion, but rather something akin to vultures that are circling and about to abuse and take advantage of this poor man. If you read the Bible, in fact, throughout the Bible, you find that dogs are consistently viewed as dirty scavengers. This is just a few verses you could look to: 2 Samuel 3:8, 1 Kings 21:19, 2 Kings 8:13, Psalm 22:20, Proverbs 26:11. And it's not just in the Bible. I should add the Quran or Muslim tradition likewise. And throughout the ancient or the Middle East, the dogs have been viewed very negatively, not as companions and friends, but rather as scavengers and pariahs. If you go to the book of Revelation, where we have the final image of the New Jerusalem, God's kingdom coming to earth, God dwelling with his people, you might wonder, where do dogs fit into this picture? Well, here's what we read. Outside of the New Jerusalem, outside of the high walls, are the dogs. Those who practice magic arts, the sexually immoral, the murderers, the idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. So the question has sometimes been asked, well, do all dogs go to heaven? But the real question, according to the Bible, might be, well, do any dogs go to heaven? Because according to Revelation 22:15, no, dogs are dirty, they're scavengers, they're outside of the kingdom of God along with all the evil people. So if this is what the Bible teaches about dogs, and this is the view the Bible has of dogs, and the Bible is a handbook for life, then it would seem that we should think that dogs are in fact terrible, dirty scavengers.